Hello, my sacred and intuitive souls, and welcome back to the Mystic Astrozen. I'm deeply honored you're here, in this sacred space where your spirit is seen, your heart is safe, and your soul is free to remember its path. If you've been feeling like something powerful is shifting beneath the surface, like a quiet pull urging you towards something new yet unknown, trust that it's not your imagination. You didn't land here by accident. This message was divinely timed for you. And if you've been silently waiting for a sign, this is it. Right here, right now. Take a deep breath and feel the truth of that settle in your body. You are loved. You are guided. You are being led somewhere higher. If that resonates with your soul, I invite you to gently subscribe and stay with us, not just for the messages, but for the sacred remembering that happens when we walk this path together. Because this isn't just a video, it's a mirror, a message, a movement of your spirit awakening. And now, as we step into the final gateway of July, the stars are whispering something urgent for Scorpio souls. July 30th and 31st marks a pivotal turning point, one that could either free you or bind you, depending on the choices you make. The energy is intense, the signs are clear, and the messages coming through today hold the power to reveal who is secretly blocking your path, and who is being sent to help you rise. So let's begin this journey with open hearts and awakened eyes, because what you're about to hear may shift everything. Scorpio, as we enter this cosmic threshold between endings and beginnings, the energy of July 30th to 31st is unearthing more than just potential. It's revealing what's been secretly holding you back. You may feel an inexplicable heaviness, a sudden doubt, or notice certain people, memories, or temptations reappearing from your past. These are not coincidences. This is Chiron retrograde in motion, pulling old wounds to the surface, asking you to finally acknowledge what's been left unhealed. But even deeper than that, there are forces, visible and invisible, that are clinging to your energy because they sense you're on the verge of something powerful. These old enemies may not always be people. Sometimes they're habits, thought patterns, versions of yourself that no longer fit but haven't yet been released. Other times, they are people, individuals who drained you, controlled you, or wounded you in the past, now suddenly returning, disguised as something softer or harmless. But Scorpio, you can feel it. You sense the misalignment, even if you can't explain it. That tension in your chest, the sudden emotional confusion, the strange déjà vu, all of it is your intuition trying to protect you from reopening doors you were born to close. Pluto in Aquarius is amplifying this with precision, forcing you to look honestly at what still has access to you energetically. Because to move forward, you must reclaim your space. You must draw the line. You must see clearly. Not everyone from your past is meant to walk with you into the next chapter. And in this sacred moment, you are being asked to decide, will you continue feeding energy into a version of your life that drains you? Or will you finally say enough and rise? Because everything you're seeking on your new path is waiting on the other side of your no. Now that the shadows have begun to surface, Scorpio, let's look deeper into the subtle energetic traps that have been sabotaging your growth, often without your awareness. During this powerful July 30th to 31st shift, Pluto in Aquarius is shining. A cold, uncompromising light on the places where you've been stuck, not because of outside forces, but because of inner agreements you never realized you made. These traps don't always look dangerous. In fact, they often wear the costume of comfort, familiarity, and even love. Maybe it's the job you've long outgrown, but you stay because it's predictable. Maybe it's the friend who always undermines your worth, but you tolerate them because you're afraid of being alone. Maybe it's the voice in your head that whispers, "Don't try too hard. You'll just fail again." And you listen, not realizing that voice was never yours to begin with. These are the energetic leeches that drain your light drop by drop, slowly convincing you that staying small is safer than becoming who you're truly meant to be. Mars in Gemini is now activating your mental awareness, sharpening your discernment, and giving you the strategic thinking you need to recognize the lies you've been living. Ask yourself honestly, what am I choosing daily that I know no longer aligns with my soul? What patterns do I keep feeding, even when they lead me nowhere? These questions aren't meant to shame you. They are portals. When you become conscious of the trap, you become free to leave it. And the universe, during this sacred window, is not only revealing your patterns, but also asking, are you ready to disrupt them? Because if you are, Scorpio, you will be met with power. But if you cling to what drains you, you'll find the next cycle feels even heavier. This is your moment of energetic accountability, not because you failed, but because your soul is finally ready to fly higher. You've outgrown the cage, even if you built it. Scorpio, once the illusion is exposed, the power returns to you, but only if you claim it. July 30th to 31st is not simply about awareness, it's about protection. You're no longer being asked to passively endure the energies that once held you hostage. You're being called to build a sacred shield, one made of boundaries, clarity, and conscious choice. Mars in Gemini is on your side now, empowering you with strategic awareness and swift action. This is the moment to cut cords with what no longer deserves access to you. Start by turning inward. Sit with yourself in silence and ask, what people, patterns, or places still have energetic power over me? Whose voice echoes in my mind when I try to rise? The answers may come as emotions, memories, or physical sensations. Trust them. Then, act. Block the number. Say the no. Exit the room. Choose differently, not out of anger, but alignment. Let your peace be your protest. Let your silence be your shield. You can also go deeper with spiritual practices that support energetic release, salt baths, candle rituals, mirror work, or simply whispering aloud, I no longer give permission for this energy to stay. I choose freedom now. This isn't about revenge. It's about sovereignty. Pluto in Aquarius reminds you, you are not a victim, you are a creator. You get to decide who sits at your table, who walks beside you, and who gets written out of your next chapter. And perhaps most importantly, you get to decide how your story feels. So let your decisions reflect your healing. Let your energy speak your boundaries without explanation. And when the old world knocks again, as it will in these final days of July, remember this truth. You don't owe the past a single ounce of your future. You are allowed to protect your light, not because you're hard, but because you're sacred. Scorpio, the universe has a sacred rhythm, and one of its most mysterious rules is this. Right before your breakthrough, the old cycle will return one last time, not to claim you, but to tempt you. As July 30th to 31st unfolds, you may find yourself face to face with a familiar person, pattern, or emotion that once held immense power over you. They may show up as a message from someone you swore you were done with, a wave of self-doubt so strong it steals your breath, or an opportunity that looks shiny but feels energetically off. This is not a mistake. It is the final test. It is life's way of asking, have you truly let go? And this time, the stakes are higher. If you answer the door, if you entertain the old narrative, you risk anchoring yourself back into a timeline you fought so hard to outgrow. But if you recognize the trap and walk away, even when it's hard, even when part of you wants to, believe the lie again, you unlock the door to a higher path. This is the moment where you must trust your body more than your memories, because your nervous system may still crave what your soul has already healed from. Your mind may say, what if they've changed? But your spirit already knows the answer. Let your no be final. Let your silence be sacred. Let this test become your testimony. Mars in Gemini lends you the sharpness of mind to see through the illusion and the swiftness to act without guilt. Pluto in Aquarius reminds you that evolution often looks like choosing discomfort now to create liberation later. You do not owe anyone access to you just because they once had it. You do not need to explain your healing to the people who caused your pain. And you are not cold for protecting your peace. You are wise. So if the past comes knocking during this powerful portal, remember, you are not obligated to answer. Let them knock. You're already gone. Scorpio, once the door to the past is firmly closed, something extraordinary happens. A new path begins to reveal itself quietly, courageously, unmistakably. And while it may not come with flashing lights or clear directions, your soul will recognize it instantly. This new path feels different, lighter, quieter, but strangely magnetic. It may come as a sudden desire to do something you've never tried, an urge to move, create, speak, or change your surroundings. It might come as a deep inner knowing, a soft but persistent voice saying, "You are never meant to stay here." That voice is your future calling. That voice is your liberation. And yet, this path will ask something from you, your bravery. Because stepping into the unknown isn't easy, especially for a soul like yours that has been through lifetimes of betrayal, survival, and rebirth. But Pluto in Aquarius is not asking you to leap blindly. It's asking you to trust intelligently. Mars in Gemini is activating the mental clarity and momentum you need to take the first step. You don't need the full map, just the willingness to walk. This new chapter is not about proving yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about walking toward what feels true, even if it terrifies you. It's about making peace with the fact that sometimes the scariest roads are the ones your soul planned all along. So if you've been waiting for the right time, the perfect sign, the loud confirmation, this is it. The old path is too small. The new one may feel uncertain, but it holds everything you've been praying for. And no, you won't walk it alone. But you do have to take the first step. Let your fear exist, but don't let it decide. Let your heart ache, but don't let it close. You are ready, not because you feel ready, but because the path has appeared. And paths like these only show themselves to those who are destined to rise. Scorpio, as you take your first steps into this unfamiliar yet divinely designed path, something beautiful begins to unfold. You start to notice that you are not walking alone. Though you may have released old connections and let go of familiar faces, the universe never leaves a sacred space empty. In these final days of July, the air is ripe with synchronicity, and if you pay close attention, you will begin to sense the quiet arrival of divine allies. Some may come in human form, someone new who suddenly appears in your life with a sense of familiarity, a conversation that feels healing, a presence that stirs your soul instead of draining it. Others may come through spirit, dreams that carry messages, songs that echo your thoughts, feathers on your path, or sudden waves of comfort that descend upon you like a warm blanket of light. These are not illusions. These are confirmations. The moment you released what no longer served you, the universe began rearranging people, moments, and opportunities to meet you on this new frequency. Pluto in Aquarius reminds you that transformation is a collective process, and your soul is now calling in those who are aligned with your next level of purpose. Mars in Gemini amplifies this movement, bringing you conversations, invitations, and mental clarity that open new doors. You might feel a sudden desire to reconnect with a long-lost part of yourself, your creativity, your voice, your light. These too are allies, returning within you. Your angels, guides, and higher self are now closer than ever, cheering for your bravery and illuminating the way forward with symbols and signs that only your heart can interpret. You are not alone, Scorpio. You are being divinely supported by seen and unseen hands, by energies who have waited lifetimes for this exact moment, when you would finally say yes to your evolution. So when you sense a new presence, or when your intuition lights up without reason, smile gently and whisper, "I see you. Thank you for walking with me." Scorpio, now that you've stepped beyond the threshold and begun to feel the presence of divine allies, the next step is activation, not just spiritual, but tangible. July 30th and 3/1 isn't just a moment of revelation, it's a portal of creation. What you choose to think, speak, and act upon during these 2 days has the power to ripple forward into the next 6 months of your life. This is where your manifestation timeline is being written, not by wishful thinking, but by energetic alignment and conscious direction. Mars in Gemini empowers your thoughts with sharp focus, and Pluto in Aquarius urges you to build a future that serves not only your comfort, but your evolution. Ask yourself, what am I ready to build now that I've burned the bridge behind me? What version of myself do I want to wake up as 1 month from now, 3 months from now, 1 year from now? And more importantly, what action can I take today that belongs to that version of me? It doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as journaling a new intention, deleting a contact that holds old energy, speaking a truth you've avoided, or reaching out to someone who aligns with your path forward. These small acts signal to the universe, I'm not just hoping, I'm ready. Use this moment to speak life into what you desire. Say it out loud, write it down, visualize it, and believe, even if your voice shakes, that it's already moving toward you. The key now is consistency, showing up for your new timeline as though it's already yours. Because spiritually, it is. And as your inner world aligns with your outer action, doors will open. Your body will feel lighter. Guidance will come faster. You'll begin to notice that your manifestations aren't random, they're responses. So step forward with clarity. Plant your intentions like sacred seeds. And know that what begins on July 30th and 31 will shape what flourishes in your life for months to come. Scorpio, everything you've walked through, every betrayal, every heartbreak, Every moment where you questioned your worth or felt forgotten by life, none of it was wasted. None of it was punishment. It was all preparation. Your soul didn't come here for an easy life. It came for depth, truth, transformation. You are not like others, and you've always known that. Where others seek comfort, you seek meaning. Where others avoid pain, you walk through fire, not to suffer, but to become someone who cannot be shaken. And now, in the powerful threshold of July 30th to 31st, that purpose becomes clearer than ever. This wasn't about losing people or jobs or identities. It was about shedding what your spirit could no longer carry. Pluto in Aquarius has been stripping away everything artificial in your life, not to hurt you, but to reveal the core of who you are. Mars in Gemini has sharpened your mind to see patterns, to find clarity, to cut ties that no longer belong. And Chiron retrograde has resurfaced old wounds, not to wound you again, but to heal them at the root. Because Scorpio, your mission was never just survival, it was spiritual leadership. You are meant to guide others through the very terrain you once got lost in. Your wisdom doesn't come from books, it comes from embodiment. You've lived the pain, you've risen from it. And now, your life is becoming a mirror for others who are still buried. This shift is your initiation. Your soul has earned this new level of clarity, magnetism, and purpose. What lies ahead is not random. It's the reward for every time you chose to keep going when nothing made sense. You've transmuted wounds into wisdom. You've turned endings into beginnings. And now, you are ready to live not from fear or history, but from alignment. You are no longer becoming, you are arriving. Scorpio, you've walked through the fire. You've faced the ghosts of your past, said no when your soul trembled, and chosen to believe in a future that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. That alone is sacred. That alone is strength. And now, as this energetic gateway of July 30th and 31st begins to close, the universe leaves you with one final invitation, not to look back, not to wait for everything to be perfect, but simply to step forward. Just one step. The next will come. So will the people. So will the clarity. So will the miracles. Your new path does not require you to have all the answers, only the courage to move with an open heart. And as you do, divine allies will meet. You there, those who speak your soul's language, those who recognize your spirit even if they've never met you before. Trust that everything is already aligning behind the scenes. You've done the clearing. You've done the choosing. Now let yourself receive. If this message stirred something within you, you're not alone. Comment below what part of your path you're claiming and what you're finally releasing. And if you feel called, like and subscribe to stay connected to the energy that's guiding you home. This is your moment, Scorpio. Your path is open. Your power is rising. And your destiny is no longer waiting. It's unfolding right here, right now.